Say it's here where our pieces fall in place. Any rain softly kisses us on the face. Anywhere means we're running. We can sleep and see them coming. Where we drift and call it dreaming. We can weep and call it singing. Where we pray when our hearts are strong enough. We can bow cause our music's warmer than blood. Where we see enough to follow. We can hear when we are hollow. Where we keep the light we're given. We can lose and call it living. Where the sun isn't only sinking fast. Every night knows how long it's supposed to last. Where the time of our lives is all we have. And we get a chance to say.
Okay, so we are watching our last sunrise on the Chesapeake. I know that sounded all dramatic, but it is true. And so we wave goodbye to the boat that we have been living on for the past 2 months. A good friend of mine, he came down and got it and took it back to his house. And so last night we slept on another friend of mine's boat, and we're getting ready to head back to our homestead back in northwest Arkansas, back today. So it's difficult to explain everything in a video, and for 1,000 reasons. But the reason why we came over here, the best way I can shorten it up for everyone to understand is, I actually have kids from a previous relationship. And that is a very complicated thing. And so they live about an hour or 2 hours from here, something like that. And so we came over here to be close to them and to visit them. And so they came down and spent a lot of time with us while we were here. I know I'm dragging this out because I'm trying to choose my words carefully because it's a difficult situation. So they spent some time, had a good time while we were here, and that's why we were here for so long. Now, my youngest daughter, she wants to go back to our homestead with us and spend some time there, so she's going to ride back with us. And that's why we came here, is to just be available for that and allow them to make the decisions they wanted to make and figure all that out. My other daughters are much older. They have jobs and they work and everything, and one of them's married. But anyway, so that's the best way we can explain that. And so if all of a sudden you see another person in our videos or other people, those are my daughters. And that's the best we can explain that. So hopefully that helps you guys understand why we came over here. But anyways, we are gonna get in the car here soon and start making our way back across country. And I guess that's that. So yeah, we'll see you guys along the way.
I hear the drizzle of the rain, like a memory falls, soft and warm, continuing, tapping on my roof wall.
and from the shelter of my mind, through the windows of my eyes, I gaze beyond the rain-drenched streets to England where my heart lies. My mind's distracted and diffused. My thoughts are many miles away. They lie with you when you're asleep. Kiss you and you start your day. And the song I was writing left undone. I don't know why I spend my time writing songs I can't believe, words that tear and strain to rhyme. And so you see I have come to doubt all that I once held as true. I stand alone without beliefs. The only truth I know is you. And as I watch the drops of rain leave their weary paths and die, I know that I am like the rain, there before the grace of you go I.
So we made it in last night at a reasonable hour. The drive back from the Chesapeake went pretty easy. No big deal there. The whole reason for us going to the Chesapeake was so that I could be closer to my daughters and be more accessible for them. Since we've been out here, they have come out to visit a few times, but it's difficult for them to get back and forth because, well, it's really far, and I'm not driving at this point. Not because I'm too stupid to have realized I need a car, or I have a DUI, or something ridiculous like that. None of that is the case. It's complicated and hard to explain. But anyway, so that was the reason for us to go over there, was to be more accessible for them. And we had a pretty good summer. We spent a lot of time, my daughters came over to visit a lot. We spent a lot of time sailing and swimming and walking on beaches and finding sea glass and so on and so forth. So that worked really well. My youngest daughter, she decided she wanted to come back out here with us and spend some time, so that's exciting. My oldest daughters, they have jobs, they're all grown up and they're doing their thing, which is good. But anyway, so we're back here and we have to figure out where to devote our energy. Switching gears, going from sailing back to homesteading, takes a minute to readjust to. We have to get it's definitely fall's coming, and we have to get firewood. We have no firewood put up, and we got to catch up on our orders and put up some apples and things like that. And so it's difficult to express my feelings about this whole situation, and anybody watching the video from the outside can just kind of skim across the high points and make assumptions and stuff like that. But it's a difficult story to tell, and one thing that makes it difficult to tell is cultural isolation, and that is a very real thing that affects us all in this country, around the world. And I'm not talking about racism. I'm talking about cultural isolation. I'm talking about one walk of life that doesn't understand another. And when they face that other walk of life or that other way of living, it triggers insecurities or jealousy or even fear or whatever happens. And so they respond with misdirected and an arrogant and underexperienced judgment. And that has been an issue that's plagued society since the beginning of time. So that element makes it difficult for me to tell the whole story, but all in good time. I don't mean to get off on a tangent, but anyways, it was difficult for us to talk ourselves into actually leaving the homestead because of complicated things like fearing, for justified reasons, going back into the world and dealing with that judgment and dealing with that aggression and dealing with the sadness and the sickness and dealing with the discontentment on such a high level that you see out there in the world. Everyone's trapped in their own game, and some people are happy and some people are not happy, but it's hard to see because when people cry for help, they don't use English. They awkwardly lash out in misdirected directions that ultimately are not very fruitful and end up hurting themselves and hurting others. So I think I'll leave it at that for now, and I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about, or at least try to. We had a great time over on the Chesapeake, and going back out into the world ultimately proved to be a really good experience. It took a lot to convince us ourselves to go out and experience that again because of our previous experience out in the world. Anyways, I'll leave you all with that, and we're glad to be back home. We got a whole bunch of stuff we got to catch up on, and so I hope this video makes some sort of sense and helps you understand better our previous videos and why we left the homestead to begin with, and why we're also so glad to be back. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and we'll see you next time.